everyone. My name is Fernando with Stellar Sales Alliance. Welcome to the StellarZone Podcast series. This episode was filmed live at the 2021 Everything Under the Sun show in Orlando, Florida. We have the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Bill Kent from Team HornerXpress. Dr. Kent speaks with Chris Walton, the Zero Edge guy from the Great American Waterfall Company. Dr. Kent tells us about his Every Child a Swimmer program, the great culture and leadership at Team Horner, and the other sister companies that are part of the HornerXpress family. Please follow us on social media and enjoy this episode.
Hi, my name is Chris Walton, Zero Edge guy. I'm here with Bill Kent with HornerXpress. I want to introduce him to tell us a little bit more about what he's been doing lately.
Well, thank you, Chris. Are we recording this? Oh. Thank you, Chris. As a pool industry veteran, I accidentally got involved several decades ago with the International Swimming Hall of Fame. And the Swimming Hall of Fame is on the other side of the world of aquatics where people actually compete. I found out real quickly that their spiritual mission was called Every Child a Swimmer. People in aquatics believe that every human being should learn to swim and that the parental responsibilities included teaching their children to swim. So accidentally, believe it or not, I became chairman of the board of the Swimming Hall of Fame about 3 years ago and started a campaign to require that the schools, when a child enters kindergarten, the parents are asked if they've taught their child to swim or not. And right now, I'm pleased to report that we have both a House and a Senate sponsors for a bill that will require the schools to do that. So we're very excited about it. If you think about it, drowning is the leading cause of death for children under 4 years old, and only around 40% of Americans even know how to swim, despite the benefits of swimming across the board. So we are very excited about the future of this legislation and look forward to taking this program beyond just Florida once we get a base established. So thank you very much, and every child a swimmer.
So with the program as set up right now and going into legislation, when it comes out, are we expecting a particular type of ETA on the rollout?
Yeah, it'll be later this year, actually this summer.
Is it going to happen in stages at that point?
Well, no. If the way legislation works, there's a date of enactment, and the date of enactment on this legislation is currently July the 1st, 2021. So given the fact that this is an easy thing to implement with the school systems, it'll just happen right away.
And implementing it into school systems such as like an after-school program where they're taken to a public facility to learn? Or?
No, this is not requiring swim lessons. This is requiring that the parents are asked if they've taught their children how to swim. And the way the legislation currently reads, if they said, no, I have not, they will be given a list with 5 local choices in terms of how they could get their child swim lessons.
That's awesome.
With or without financial support.
So it allows, it brings, I guess, to the surface who can and who can't swim.
Correct. And it makes the parents aware of what we think
programs available to teach.
Well, and we think it's a basic parental responsibility that children learn to swim. And a year ago, we did a poll of Florida voters, of 700 Florida voters, and 90% of the people agreed with the idea that every child should learn to swim.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's amazing.
So you're promoting, what you're doing is you're bringing it into the classroom, you're promoting it with the parents, and then you're also giving parents multiple options of avenues for the child to then learn to swim.
It's getting it on the radar screen.
Absolutely.
With every adult.
Awareness.
Chris, if we try to force the school system to teach every child to swim, the legislation would never pass.
It's not fiscally reasonable to expect that.
It's not ever going to happen in your lifetime or mine.
But at least giving the parents some options, like would you say 3 to 5 different options?
They'll be given a piece of paper if they haven't taught their child to swim that has 5 local resources for Learn to Swim.
That's awesome.
And some of it would include if they're financially not able to pay for swim lessons, then there's
that's great. So they have a variety of options based on what their means are.
That's correct.
Wow. It fills in the gaps.
Correct.
Congratulations. That's a great honor. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think I'm done with my questions.
Yeah. So now I think it would be good just ask them a little bit about HornerXpress itself.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. So I guess by definition of being employee owned, I mean, that was a huge culture change, not only for Horner itself, but also for an industry. For our industry, it's just something you don't see very often. Was that exciting for the employees, for everyone there at Horner in the beginning?
Well, first of all, Chris, it's not much of a culture change because I had believed as the business owner for over 40 years in what we call a shared fate. In other words, if the company did better, then the employees were bonused so that they did better, so that we had a combined mutual interest in success.
Agreed.
The company was founded over 50 years ago, and typically we grew from when I joined it was three employees, and now we're almost at 600 employees, and the life cycle gets all of us. Organizations can go beyond one person's life cycle, but when I hit the age of 70, which was 8 years ago, I started thinking more seriously about, I need to do something that's going to perpetuate the culture. And so this was the best solution for me personally. It was the greatest spiritual gift that I could ever give to the employees, rather than just sell the business. The swimming pool industry over the last 2 or 3 decades has been pretty much rolled up. In other words, there are the big public companies and some big private companies that have been rolled up. There's the big 3 in manufacturing, and then there's, of course, the big roll-up in the wholesale distribution business. I never chose that as an option. I never thought about it for a single day. I've been blessed to share my life with our teammates. We have people that are over 40 years with me.
Yes, sir.
And 30 years with me. And so my life has been a joy because of the mutual effort that we've all made to achieve our spiritual mission. Our company mission is working together, growing together, and winning together. And I take that quite literally. And the ultimate version of winning together is to do the employee stock ownership plan.
Let me rewind for a second. When I made the comment about that change in culture, I didn't necessarily mean it was a change of the culture at your place of business, because I think that it's refreshing to find someone with the cultural vision that you have, but more so in a sense of it's not the culture that's consistently maintained within our industry. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of like excited and a little giddy to be sitting here talking to you about it, because it's something that we have talked about, like even Great American Waterfall, in looking to move that direction too. It's that ownership. It's that sense of I belong to something greater than myself. I mean, talk a minute about what brought you to that point, to the brink of saying was it just the loyalty to the people you had with you?
Well, it's more than that. I mean, the good Lord puts all of us on this earth with some form of purpose.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that the good Lord works in all of our lives. And, I came here in 1972 from Ohio, didn't know a soul, but I wanted to be in the swimming pool industry, and I made that commitment because I was working in the pool industry in Ohio, but I wanted to go into business for myself here, and one thing led to another, and in the end, Team Horner Group is an incredibly happy place to be. Thanks not just to me, but also to all the people who have helped the company grow through the years. And so for me, this was the greatest gift I could give to the employees, is this future. it's interesting because the way an ESOP works, the company doesn't pay taxes anymore.
Right.
Most people don't know that. And what happens is you can't get the money that you earn in stock until you leave the company, whether it's retirement or else otherwise. And time out.
No, you're fine.
Sorry
guys.
about that. That'll be an edit. Okay, so after an employee leaves the company, then there's a plan for paying the person out for their shares in the company, and that works really great because most people would roll it into a 401k or an IRA account.
Right.
So what it does is it creates wealth that they'll have when they're in the retirement age. And, most Americans don't save a lot of money while they're in their working years.
Yes, sir.
We all know that.
Yes, sir.
So this is a great way of doing it for them. They honestly don't have a choice. 401k, you can choose to belong or not belong and save money for your own retirement. But the ESOP saves money for everybody without
incredibly innovative of you. I mean, I applaud you. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah,
so what do you see about the future, the culture of Team Horner, and how you guys are moving into the new 2020s?
Well, we've got great leadership in place. Mike Dooley is the CEO and next generation leader and president of the company now for 5.5 years, and I'm very proud of him.
Yes, sir.
He has a footprint that's very similar to me from a value system standpoint. So we get along great, and we work together really closely. And we have a vice president's group of key employees who provide leadership for the different divisions of the company. Darren Goldstein provides the leadership for the distribution branches. We have 16 branches throughout Florida, and then one up in New York. And then we have Linda Carroll, who runs the export division. We have over 500 customers in 100 countries around the world. We have an import division called Stone Hardscapes, led by Pam Luciani. And then, of course, AquaCal and Autopilot is the premier manufacturer. We're the world's largest manufacturer of heat pumps for swimming pools. And I think we're the third largest manufacturer of salt generators for swimming pools. And AquaCal Autopilot, and that's led by Jeff Tawney and Don Detweiler, who provide both operations and sales leadership. And then we have another manufacturing division called Lochlor, led by Rick Coffey, Dr. Rick Coffey, and he does a good job of that. So we're really blessed to have high-quality leadership in every position. And frankly, we don't have a lot of turnover. People come and they stay because it's a joyful place to work. My wife, Kim, leads a wellness program for the company called Color Me Healthy. And she has an assistant, or a partner rather, over in Tampa who focuses on the factory in St. Petersburg. Kim focuses on Fort Lauderdale, the mothership, and the branch system. And that program has caused us to win a national award from the American Psychological Association called a Psychologically Healthy Workplace Award.
That's awesome.
And when we received that award in 2016, the entire vice president's group and I flew to Washington, D.C. to get this award. And the other big name, a winner, was American Express. So we were standing on the same stage with the leadership from American Express, little old Team Horner.
That's fantastic.
From Florida.
Yeah.
And got the same award they got.
From the little old pool industry.
From the little old pool industry.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. What a great impact. I mean, that's awesome. Do you see anything new or anything particularly exciting you want to share with us that's coming up in the near future?
Well, a year ago we bought a manufacturing business in France that manufactures one-piece fiberglass pools. And they did really well because of the boom in the swimming pool industry at this point in time. And Mike Dooley and I are talking about building a third factory. We have 2 factories now,
Right.
and we are pretty much at our capacity. So right now we're talking about adding another factory in France to that mix over there.
Nice.
We also have a small business in Portugal and another business in India, and they're both doing well. So
Wow.
who knows what the best, where it's going to end up. My most frequent one-liner is, the best is yet to come.
That's awesome.
And I believe that's true.
That's awesome. Wow. It's truly been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Thank you, Bill. Awesome. What a great show.
You too, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Send me the back version.